Good morning, everybody. How are you? This is the second part of the final project phase. This is the marketing and advertising phase, and you hear my dog crying in the background. He wants to get into my son's room, so I apologize if it disturbs you. So the story is that you're going to go to your books and read pages 302 to 309. But it's quick reading. It's about 2 minutes of reading, and it's building customer relationships through effective marketing. It's basically the chapter 11, building customer relationships through effective marketing. And that's what we're going to be talking about today for your business plan. The second part of your business plan, the 5 parts to it. It's not really the second part, it's like the third, fourth part, but it's the marketing plan. You can make it really whatever you want. The question really is, and I may be sounding a little bit disoriented, but I was just worried about my dog. So the question really is what is a marketing plan, and how do you develop it for your business plan? And it's marketing / advertising, because really when you market, who you're marketing to is really who you're advertising to also. So they're usually part of the same. Although there is a huge marketing department at a business usually, and then there's a huge advertising where they outsource their marketing and advertising for large businesses. For small businesses, they might go to mom and pop stores to do their marketing and their advertising, or they may do their own marketing and advertising on their own. Basically, you have to first identify who you're selling to, and who they are, where they are, and get a kind of understanding of how you're going to sell to them. And that really is the key to your business, is to know your customer, to understand them, their finances, their needs, their wants, how much they're willing to spend on your product per month, per day, per week. Is your product necessary to them? How do you make it something that's necessary for them? Is it something that they already utilize, or is it something that your product or your service, or is it something that you're going to create a use for with them? So that's quite a challenge. It's one thing if someone drinks a cup of coffee every morning, and you're going to try to convince them to go from their either making the coffee at home or going to a specific coffee shop and going to your coffee shop, rather than saying that you're going to try to convince them from drinking coffee in the morning to drinking tea in the morning. I think you can understand that is a huge leap. Here you're saying you drink coffee. It's a normal part of your everyday experience. You buy 3-4 cups of coffee a day, and you go to Starbucks and you buy your cups of coffee. Starbucks is your favorite coffee. You're used to Starbucks. You love Starbucks. It's the coffee that gets you going in the day. It's part of your daily routine. And with Starbucks, you spend let's say $5 per cup, whatever. You spend $20 a day. $20 a day you've allocated in your budget, your family's budget, that you're going to be spending $20 a day going to Starbucks. So this is part of your marketing plan. So let's say you're doing a coffee, and you want to convince me in your business plan that your coffee is going to take the people that usually go to Starbucks in your neighborhood are going to come to your home and buy a cup of coffee every morning, or you're going to deliver it to their home every morning before they go to work. And this is your business plan, is doing a coffee shop out of your house, and you're going to sell this coffee, and you're going to convince people not to go to Starbucks, but to go to purchase your coffee. Spend $25 a day instead of the $20, or spend $10 a day instead of the $5, and buy coffee from you because your coffee is a better blend. a higher end coffee, tastes better than Starbucks, is more trendy than Starbucks, is cooler than Starbucks. They'll deliver it directly to your home, so you don't have to go to Starbucks. Although some people enjoy the experience of actually going to Starbucks, you're gonna have to work that out. Some people actually enjoy going to the Starbucks and purchasing their coffee, even if they don't sit there. They enjoy just the moment of going inside and being part of other people. They like that group experience, like going to why do people go to movies rather than go to watch movies on TV? Well, that trend is changing. More people are watching movies on TV, but in the old days they used to say, well, it was for the experience of watching a film with other people. That was the marketing, and a lot of people liked being in a theater and experiencing something with others. A lot of people like going to a coffee shop and experiencing coffee with others. A lot of people don't. A lot of people find it a hassle and would rather have the coffee delivered to them. So those are the people you'd be appealing to with your marketing plan. So your whole marketing plan for whatever business you have is an expression of how you're going to get customers, where you're going to get the customers from, the types of customers you're going to get. What plan do you have to get them? Now, this is extraordinarily important to your business plan. Extraordinarily. This is everything to your business plan. Where are you getting your customers? How are you going to get them? Who are they? What do they do? How much money are they willing to spend on your product or service on a daily basis? And you may think, oh, it's not that big a deal. But that really is the basis, the foundation for your entire business. It's how are you fulfilling that customers or consumers' needs, and where are you getting that idea from? What's part of that idea? How do you do this? How do you get a customer, and not just one time, but how do you get like a customer on a regular basis? It could be a monthly basis, it could be a weekly basis, a yearly basis, but how do you get a customer to continue to do business with you? How do you get that first time? Do you offer a sample of your? Do you offer samples? Do you offer something for free in the beginning? Do you offer some sort of discount in the beginning? How do you get them to use your product? And then how do you make them see that your product is better than something else they could use or some other service they could use? What is it that entices them to continue to use you over and over again? Now that's the mystery of business. It's something that, there's a whole alchemy behind marketing. There's a whole psychology behind marketing. And sometimes it works, and sometimes, usually it's been developed. It's not a science necessarily, but it is. They do use psychology. They do use science. They use when they use science. I'm talking about, let's say, Coca-Cola utilizes science. What makes people addicted to their soft drink? How do we get more people? Now, I'm not talking about drug addicts, but yeah, it's a drug. Sugar is a drug. It obviously has its properties that definitely affect your brain and certain chemicals in your body, and it makes you want more and crave more, and it affects areas of your head and your psychology that you may not even be aware of. That's why we have such a huge problem, and you can see with me, with obesity in this country. Sugar is a huge problem with this country, and who are these companies and so forth that utilize sugar as a way of marketing their product and keeping customers? And I know it sounds horrible, because it is horrible, but that's part of the psychology is, hey, there are other countries that do not like sugar, that try to avoid as much sugar as they can, and they offer different products that have less sugar in them. Our country is starting to do that. I think there is that movement to make this country a healthier and better country, and that's a way of marketing too. You can market your products as something that is an alternative to the bad types of foods we've had in this country, the bad types of let's say you start a company. Let's say you're starting your business plan, and you're going to be a personal trainer in your business plan. Well, what are you trying to accomplish? You're trying to get people who don't normally exercise or do exercise, that you can provide them with special, specific training on a daily basis or weekly basis or whatever it is, so that they get healthier. That's a great business plan. How do you market that? How do you get people who don't normally exercise to hire a personal trainer? How do you encourage them to continue doing it? Part of your marketing plan, part of your advertising. Now, advertising, this is the second part. So marketing, you find out who your consumers are, you find out what they need in order to utilize your business or service, and then you come up with a plan about how you're going to approach them. Well, usually you approach them through different means. You approach them personally, one-on-one, or you approach them through advertising. Now, advertising is a great way of reaching out to your consumer base, to the people that you think you want to attract to your business. So advertising can be anything from a sign outside your store or outside your house to flyers to going on social media, Instagram, TikTok, encouraging people, telling stories, showing your product, all sorts of ways of getting people to doing it very quietly, handing out free product as a form of advertising and marketing, handing out even word of mouth, letting people know, getting public relations, getting a newspaper story, or some sort of advertising in a paper, or some sort of internet advertising. Those are all ways of advertising your product. So that's going to be included in your business plan also. You're going to need to include, how are you going to get people to know about your product? How are you going to get them to know? How are you going to draw them into your product or service? What is it that you utilize to do that? And every business is a different method. Somebody might offer, I'll offer you a free hour. You'll put up, a free hour of physical training with every person that signs on for 5 hours of physical training. So in other words, if you sign up and you pay for 5 hours of physical training, I will give you a free hour. Or if you order, I'm a cupcake maker, and if you order 6 cupcakes, you get an additional 2 cupcakes free. That's an advertising. Or you show on your your Instagram page you making the cupcakes. You show people eating your cupcakes. You show bringing the cupcakes to a party and having people enjoy the cupcakes. Having someone, you give the cupcakes. You have somebody unbox your cupcakes. You have an influencer taste your cupcakes. You have your cupcakes used. You give your cupcakes to a TV show that's doing a show in your neighborhood, and they use the cupcakes in a scene, and they show the box, or you pay them to do that. There's all sorts of ways of influencing and getting your name out. You hand out flyers on a corner about your cupcakes. You go door to door, knocking on people's doors and saying, "Hi, I just opened up a new business, cupcake business. Here's one of my cupcakes. I'd love for you to try it and let me know what you think about it." When you're opening up a business, and let me get this, as small a business as it may be, you need to be hungry. I'm not talking about hungry in terms of physical hunger. I'm talking about hungry in terms of getting your business started. You got to get out there. You got to knock on doors. You got to work hard. You got to think of different means. You got to talk to people who have done businesses before, pick their brains, find out exactly how they got their business started, how they got a customer base. With my business in cigars, it's very much like we're always trying to figure, and it's hard. I gotta admit it's hard. And some things work and some things don't work. We had an event the other night where we brought in a cigar maker, manufacturer. We did pretty well. Actually, we made a lot of money. It was better than I thought it would be. It was on a weeknight. Usually weeknights are not very good, but sometimes they are. It was a weeknight, and we served mojitos, which are, tremendous drink made with, cane sugar and mint, and you crush it, and it's very refreshing, and it's very much, part of the cigar lore, that you had mojitos in Cuba with cigars. It very much, there's lots of paintings and stories about people sipping their mojitos with their cigar. And so we had a guy who made the mojitos, and we had different deals on cigars at our store, and we brought in maybe 60, 70 people to the event on a weeknight from 7 o'clock. It was supposed to start at 6, 7 o'clock till about 10 o'clock, 3 hours. And some new customers, some regulars that we usually have. Most of them bought at least 5 cigars apiece. So you could kind of do the math on that. Some of them bought whole boxes. Some of them tried these cigars for the first time because they're brand new cigars that this company is making and this guy is making. And they like the cigars, and they've continued to come back to the store and continue to smoke those cigars. So that was my way. And how did we advertise? So we advertised on Instagram. We advertised on Facebook. We had flyers around the store, and we put a couple of flyers into some of the stores that are right by us. And then what else? We spread the word at the store. Any person that came into the store, we let them know that we were going to be having an event that week, and then we had the event, and people liked the event, and I think they will come back. I mean, we have lots of events, but this was they complimented. They said, "Oh, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. We enjoyed ourselves. We enjoyed talking to the guy who made the cigars because he was very knowledgeable." And we enjoyed the mojitos, and we enjoyed the cigars, and thank you so much. That was basically what they said. So that's my business. That's not necessarily your business, but you understand that was a marketing, advertising type of plan on its most simple level for a very small cigar store that is not a major company. That we had an event, and we usually have 3-4 events a month that draw people in. We try to increase our revenue by having these events. We try to increase our reach that people know about us. We try to create a buzz about it so that people say, "Oh, this place is a place where they have lots of events," and it's also great for our members. Remember, I told you that my business has different revenue streams, and basically it's good to have different, like, I'll give you an example. So with your cupcake company, you would want at least maybe 2 or 3 different revenue streams. One revenue stream would be, I think, doing a party business, like providing cupcakes to like birthday parties, weddings, whatever, bar mitzvahs, christenings, whatever it is. That would be one stream of business for you. Then there would be the individual the people who come, the mom and pop people who come in and purchase your cupcakes and say, "Ooh, this is a good cupcake," but they buy 6 cupcakes, 2 cupcakes, 1 cupcake at a time, and then they leave and they come back and they buy, a cupcake next week or the next day, but they're not like, it's not a regular thing like the party type thing. Then there's the corporate. You might go corporate. There are corporations, companies that might want cupcakes for their events, for their breakfasts, whatever it is. So if you get a corporate contract, that's a huge revenue stream because it becomes like something regular, something that you're always getting. And my company, I said we have, we go out we do events and things like that. We do weddings, we do those things, but we also have the thing that's the key to my success, the company's success, the business's success, and to most cigar lounges' successes are the permanent members. And I told you about this, that they own boxes. And those are the people that although you may say, oh, well, you really don't have to market and advertise them because you've already gotten them as members. No, that's not true. You're constantly trying to innovate and keep those people, because people will drop their box. They'll say, oh, why am I spending $75, $100 a month on a humidor box and access to a cigar lounge when I can go to that cigar lounge for free and sit there and smoke a cigar, and I don't need a box. I have my own humidor at home. I don't need to keep my cigars in a box at a store. Well, we create certain events that are specifically for our members. We create marketing events that we hope that so when we have that like mojito thing, you say to yourself, well, anybody could go to that. Well, we offered certain things specifically for, like, our members did not have to buy cigars in order to drink the mojitos. They could just come in and come to the event. Any customer that came in had to buy 4 cigars in order to get a mojito. Our members have their own area, the back room, which is huge, where they can kind of escape to while the event is taking place. So everyone else is kind of in the front, and we have enough chairs, but it's not enough for everybody, and it's loud. And our members could take their drinks, go in the back, play dominoes, play poker, watch TV, relax, come back and forth to the event. There's a certain advantage to having the membership that we try to emphasize with these events. And when we go around and talk to people about joining, we say, listen, if you take a membership and pay the monthly fee, you get all this, and you get to go in the back and enjoy yourself and be a VIP. It's like those guys who sit at the VIP tables at the clubs and you get the bottle service. Well, they're sitting at a table. They might have a better view or something like that, but it's not like why are they paying so much more for bottle service and sitting in a special place at the club? Well, they feel like they're more important, and there's a whole psychology to that marketing. Same thing with my cigar store. There's a whole psychology behind what makes people want to be a member. We offer, T-shirts, sweatshirts, things we give them for free. Not really for free; they're paying, but it's, you say it's for free. They get the box with their name on it. It's in gold. It's brass. It's very nice, and it says their name. They like walking in. We put their picture up on the wall. We have little photos. We put the picture up on the wall. They're a member, and they feel very part of the place. They have friends there. They bring their uncle. One guy brought his godfather the other day, who joined. We have people who bring their families. If you're a VIP and if you're a member, you get to bring guests twice a month into the back room, so they have guest passes. They can bring a guest with them. They get there's a refrigerator back there. There's a coffee machine. There's a place for you to keep your liquor, so you can bring your own liquor. And we have what's called glass service. We have an ice machine and glasses. You can have ice. So we try to make it very, very comfortable, marketing-wise. You could do the same with every business you have. Now, I know I talk about the cigar store, but whatever business it is that you're putting in your business plan that you've come up with, you need to think of ways to market it that makes people want to utilize your service. What makes them comfortable? What makes people... You have to look at other competitors and then say, well, we're going to offer you something more than what the competition offers you. We're going to offer you something better. Something like it's with the Starbucks. We're going to deliver the coffee to you. It's a different blend. It's a higher level blend. We give it to you hot, first thing in the morning, like with your morning newspaper or with your morning television or whatever it is, your morning phone. Before you leave for work, your coffee will be at your house. We'll text you or let you take a picture of it and leave it on your porch. It'll be waiting for you, so you don't have to go to Starbucks. We're all these things we offer. We might give you like a free coffee mug with our logo on it. Something, anything. Things that may cost you a little money in the beginning, but actually earn you customers over a period of time. So I'm going to end this now. So the second part of your business plan, really the second part of this video, which is really the third or fourth part of your business plan. Remember, there's 5 parts. It's typed, double spaced. I've kind of gone over this with you. Needs to be meticulous. Don't hand it in yet. I keep telling people, I'm getting them from people. I'm like, why am I getting business plans? You're going to have to redo them. You got till the end of the month to get it done. Work on it over and over. Make it as good as you possibly can. Make it real. It's got to be real. It can't be like don't make it something that I'm going to say, I'm going to immediately read it and say, this is not something you can do as a college student at Kingsborough Community College. This is beyond your reach. Now, why do I say beyond your reach? Eventually, you could do it, make any business you want in your life. I'm talking about a small business, 20 hours a week, nothing that's outrageous, enough to make a little money, something you pretty much do yourself, or with hiring 1 or 2 people, or having someone else help you with it, like in your family. But I don't want you to come up with this crazy business. Remember, you're not going to be able to rent a space for this business. This is going to be out of your home. This is something that I don't want you to have a lot of overhead, not a lot of costs. Costs are what kill businesses. With my business, I every month, all I worry about, just like with your house, you worry about your mortgage with your house, you worry about paying your taxes with your home, because you want to keep your home for yourself and your family. Same thing with your business. You worry about the rent, making rent. That's my bottom line every month. I want to make rent, and I want to be able to pay my employees, pay the insurance, pay everything else. And I want to be able to pay all my suppliers. Like sometimes I have to. The other day, I have a intermediary supplier. So he buys the cigars from the cigar manufacturers, and then he sells them to the cigar stores. And he's a friend of mine, good friend of mine. And we had ordered some cigars from him 4 months ago, and they had been put on back order, because with cigars, a lot of times, cigars are very limited. There could be a great cigar, like a tremendous cigar, the best cigar, everyone wants it. But it's a limited run, because it's made out of tobacco leaf. It's not, you can't just produce it automatically. They're aged. Usually the tobacco leaves are aged for many years. And it takes a long time. They're handmade. They're hand rolled. It's not something that's done in a machine. So the cigar ran out, and so they were put on back order, and they finally came in. So the manufacturer finally got the order. The middle-level guy who sells it to me finally got them in, and they were twice the price of what they were before. Not twice, but 1.5 times what they were. And I was like, I don't have that money right now. I don't have the money for 10 boxes, 20 boxes. If each box is over $1,000, that's $25,000-$30,000 worth of cigars. And not that I don't have the money eventually, but you're going to have to hold on to them until I have the money, because I can't give you the money right now. So his approach to me was, well, if you don't buy them, another cigar. And I said, unless you want to give them to me on credit, I'm good for it. Give me the cigars, give me 60 days, and I'll come up with the money for you. But I can't pay you right now. And so that's what a business-to-business relationship is, and it's usually with people that you know, and people that you rely upon, and people that you trust. And so he gave me the cigars, and we actually started selling them right away, and people bought a couple of boxes, and I was able to pay them back very quickly. But if, it's very much like with everything else in business, it's you rely upon your reputation, your word. and you need to be very, very cautious because, God forbid, I had bought all these cigars and then I didn't come up with the money in 60 days. I could lose not only a friend, but someone who I rely upon for business. I'd get a bad reputation because of it, and it would spread to other businesses, other cigar places. They wouldn't want to do business with me without having their cash up front, and or they might not want to do business with me at all. It's a very gossipy business. You'll see that with all businesses. You It's not just advertising and marketing. You rely upon your reputation. If somebody gets a bad cupcake or a bad coffee, they're going to post online about how they got a bad cup of cake or a bad cup of coffee or a bad cigar or a bad experience they had or somebody was nasty to them. So you have to rely upon your reputation, and reputation is very much a part of your advertising and marketing. We'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, you need to be very, if it's you have no one to blame but yourself. If you were not nice to someone or if you don't fulfill that, then it's you. But if you start hiring people, then you need to train them. You need to make sure that they're the right employees for you and so forth, because they represent who you are. I think I've done enough for today. Remember, get started on your business plan. Don't finish it yet. Don't send it to me yet. I will do one more video about your business plan, kind of summing it all up, especially the stuff about competition, especially the stuff about your conclusion. And then I'll do that this week, and then I'll finally, then you can start on it. But don't give it to me. Keep working on it. Make it better. There's the one thing about a business plan is, you put it up on your computer, you put it up, with your ChatGPT and your AI, and you try to figure out the best way to present it and the way it looks and the way it sounds, and you read it to yourself out loud, and then you say, oh, I can make a change here. I could do something different. Business plans are constantly evolving. Now, I told you, we still have a business plan for my cigar store. I looked at the business plan maybe 3 months ago. Now, my business plan is much more technical than the business plan I'm asking you to do. I looked at it about 3 months ago. 3 months ago, I'm like, oh my God, we are so far away from that business plan now. I'm going to have to come up with a new business plan and kind of retrofit the old business plan into what we've done, because we've gone light years away from where we started with the original business plan. It's a different business now. We have different priorities now. We were naive in the beginning with the way our business was beginning. In terms of the fundamentals of my business, they've shifted over time. Things are not the way they were. We are much more profitable now than we could have anticipated when we first started. That's the one good thing. We've made more money. The scary thing is that when I first started, I was starting out with a very, very small margin with my business plan. And if the business plan had fulfilled itself, I probably would not have survived my business, if that makes any sense. In other words, if what I said in the business plan came true, I don't think we could have survived this business. We needed much more money, much more capital to survive than what I had in the business plan. I was naive about that. And really our business has thrived, although the last couple of months it's kind of slowed up a little bit. It's thrived because I think we have some great people that work there and some great loyal customers that consistently come back on a daily basis. Pretty much, we make most of our money on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but Monday through Thursday we have some loyal customers that carry us through the week. And it's, knock wood, it's still going strong. Does it mean that 5 years from now it's going to be going strong? I don't know. The demographics are changing. We don't have that many young people coming in and becoming cigar smokers anymore. It's mostly older people. But we do have a couple of young members who are, in their 20s and 30s, and they enjoy it. And They bring in other young people and they enjoy it. Do they necessarily become members? No, but times will change. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's like very much like a flux. There was a time in the 1990s, early 2000s, when cigars were there was a boom, and now it's kind of quieted down, but it's still going strong. There are magazines, there are people, there are celebrities that still smoke cigars, and we'll see what happens. Can't predict the future. Have a great day, and wait till the next video, okay? And I will post this today.